Thanks for staying with us. I'm Laura Ingram in for Bill O'Reilly. And in the Factor follow-up segment tonight, President Obama's burger diplomacy in the crosshairs. While President Obama dined with the Russian president on hamburgers and shared French fries, the feds were moving in on Russian spies operating in the United States and trying to steal our secrets. So is it appropriate to joke around with the Russian leader before a major espionage bust? Or is this just yet another foreign policy snafu for the Obama administration? Joining us now, two liberal radio talk show hosts from L.A., Leslie Marshall, a Fox News contributor, and from Las Vegas, Mark Levine. It's great to see you both. I want to start first with Mark, who's in Las Vegas, because Mark, I laughed, okay, because I love Russia. I love all things Russian. I have a Russian son. But when the president is sharing the burger with Medvedev, and he knows that this bust is about to go down, is that odd to you in any way? Is it bizarro?
I think it's great. Can you imagine if Obama had tipped off the Russian leader that we were going after his spies? He played it cool, the Russian leader never knew, and we got those spies. I think it was great.
But don't you think, Leslie, though, to describe this as Gibbs did, as just, well, this is a law enforcement matter, you know, obviously there are a lot of law enforcement matters out there. I mean, would you just describe it as a law enforcement matter when we have Russians operating inside the United States as unregistered foreign agents?
Yes, it is a law enforcement matter. As a matter of fact, Laura, I'm going to predict that not all are going to be spies, but just undocumented workers, if you will. Because what we're talking about is some people using a fake name and working in America. Gee, do we know anyone else from those countries doing that? We also know these are not espionage charges. These are a maximum 5-year penalty, and they don't have any proof as of yet, the Department of Justice has stated so, that there was any harm that would come to the government, more so monitoring of what the Obama administration was saying and doing with Russia.
Are you saying these are jobs that Americans wouldn't do, that the Russians just decided? Okay.
Laura, how many times do you or Rush slam the Obama administration? I know you're not a spy. Come on.
I'm just saying I think this is hilarious because I happen to follow Russian politics pretty closely, okay? And there is a great concern inside the former Soviet Union that the newly reconstituted KGB, it's now a different name, it sounds a little nicer than the KGB, that now it's kind of moving backwards and there's an encroachment on free speech and encroachment on political association and dissent. And I didn't hear the president, at least publicly, raise any questions about that law that's working its way through the Duma right now. Mark, you can comment.
Well, I'm going to disagree with Leslie a little bit here. I think they probably are spies. I trust our authorities, but I'm not surprised by it. Russia spies on us. That's no secret. We spy on Russia. That's no secret. Frankly, we spy on most of our allies, and most of them spy on us, and Russia's no ally. That's just the way the world works. And so I don't think it's, you know, going back to the evil days of the Soviet Union. I don't trust Russia. We shouldn't trust Russia. They're spying on us. That's just the way the world works.
But Leslie, what the president said in that little presser he did earlier, I guess it was last week, he talked about turning the page with Russia, and he talked about the old days and the old stereotypes. Obviously, that was an implicit slam at previous administrations. But what we know is, in the real world, there are bad guys who want to find out information from us and probably use it against us. That's the real world, beyond the reset buttons and the great fanfare and the burger run and all the choreographed PR. That is the real world.
True, but when you have countries just looking at the size of the United States and Russia, and I agree wholeheartedly with Mark, everyone knows that everyone's checking each other out. Russia, although may be angry at the release of information and the way it was released by the Department of Justice, is in the knowledge of this and hasn't disagreed with the fact that this is a law enforcement issue and it's not going to affect the relationship with Russia and the United States, where Iran and nukes are concerned.
That is what kills Democrats on these issues. That's a law enforcement issue. But we got to move on to the ACLU.
I'm okay
I know you want to talk
it a
about
national security issue.
All right, Mark, the ACLU is now telling people not to travel to Arizona, I guess over the holiday week on 4th of July, etc. It turns out the law, though, isn't even in effect yet, the immigration enforcement law, Arizona's law. I think the ACLU is overstepping it here a little bit, looking a little paranoid.
It's a little premature, but I think it's very important what the ACLU is doing. I mean, certainly a month from now, if this law goes into effect, all kinds of Latino American citizens may be in danger. And I think what they're doing is they're putting on the website telling people, absolutely. Look,
how are they in
Laura,
danger if they're legally in the United States?
They're in danger of being stopped.
How are they in danger?
I'll explain. SB 1070, the Arizona law says if you're not carrying an Arizona driver's license, you can be stopped, you can be arrested. Let's say you're from New Mexico or Utah or Nevada or any of the other 15 states that don't require you to be a citizen in order to have a driver's license. I don't have an Arizona driver's license. Luckily for me, I don't look Latino, but if I go to Arizona without a driver's license, they can stop me.
Yeah, I don't know. The American people seem to really like this law, and 20 other states are trying to replicate it, but that's for another time. Leslie and Mark, we appreciate it. And later, President Obama takes